Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has engaged through comments, likes, or subscribing. I do appreciate it so much. It does make this project so much more fun when I am working with an engaged audience. So we are in Riverblossom Hills. Seasons was the first expansion that shipped with a standalone neighborhood, meaning one that doesn't attach to another neighborhood like downtown or Blue Water Village. And this is so exciting. So we have new people, new stories, and unless you create an Uberhood, this is a standalone like Pleasant View, Veronaville, and Strangetown. So let's get into it. So the first thing you notice upon opening the neighborhood is that it's in winter. Riverblossom is the only one which starts at default on the last day of winter before going to spring, autumn, and back to winter for 10 days of winter. All others would start on the last day of summer before going to autumn, winter, spring, and then back to summer. That's how this works, and I think probably this is supposed to be somewhere in Ireland. It's very agrarian. We've got names like McGregor, we've got O'Mackey's and Roth. These are all very Irish names. Yes, we've got other people, but this is predominantly Irish in my mindset. So that's kind of what I think. All right, so we have 6 families in the neighborhood plus 3 families in the bin. We've got a second O'Mackey. That's which we also have our first officially divorced couple that are playable right now. We have the Automesas. We all know and tolerate the Automesas. And we have the Ramaswamis. Those are the 3 that I will be putting in from the bin because they're the ones that shipped with the game. Today's clients are the Greenmans. Jason gave up his name and changed his lifestyle for the love of his green-skinned goddess. Despite the love that they share, will they be able to raise a happy, healthy child? Can Rose adjust to living in a town instead of the great outdoors? So let's check them out. So over here in the nursery, we have Jason and Daisy. Let's read Jason's bio. Jason moved to Riverblossom Hills after hearing his brother spin wonderful tales of a beautiful countryside, and a beauty he did find. Will he and his new family prosper? And here we have little Daisy. Will Daisy bloom into the lovely flower that her parents expect, or will she be a thorn to Jason and Rose? And finally, Rose. Rose quickly became the center of attention after rooting herself in Riverblossom Hills. Will she thrive in the limelight or back away to bask alone in the sun? Now, if you know my kitties, you know that I name all of the girl children after flowers, so there will be a Rose and a Daisy eventually. And I would like to point out that the skin detail on Plantsims is the same as the detail on this particular wallpaper. I have always loved that. Okay. Now this house is legitimately a monstrosity. I understand the why. I really do get it. The concept that both Rose and Daisy need a lot of natural sun. I get it. But that doesn't mean we have to live like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and remake the house. It will be different, and we'll figure something out for them. So looking through her memories, Rose Greenman was a Plantsim her entire life. Became a Plantsim is the first thing she did. Then she grew up well, met Jason, became best friends, kissed him, fell in love, got married, and then spawned her own plant spawn. So Daisy, of course, is just a Plantsim, and she's met her cousin Jules Mackey. Then here we have Jason, who has much more full memories because of that. Plantsims have special needs. They have sunlight, water, and love, and that's all they need. But otherwise, they can kind of go full time. So we will keep that in mind as we create a home for Rose and Daisy, and Jason is along for the ride, although he would like to become a Plantsim too, so there's always that. Since their house has not been lived in since it's been made, we're just going to go ahead and delete them, or I should say evict them. Some of this stuff is actually cloned into Castaway, so that's just kind of fun that this was released probably around the same time that Castaway was, because Castaway uses a lot of the Seasons engine. It's got rain and things like that, and so some of the tiki stuff that we see here we also see in Castaway. So fun little fact. Legitimately, I am experiencing something I've never experienced before, which is I am at a complete loss how to improve this house. It's a monstrosity, but for the first time I can appreciate why they built it the way they built it. Clearly the purpose is to house this tree, and you can't do that without this extraordinarily large greenhouse roof. So as far as I can tell, the only way I can do anything for this build is to actually just work on it aesthetically, because right now there's not much I can do to improve the floor plan, because the floor plan is all dependent upon how it works with this tree. And if I do anything that disturbs that, then there's a problem. But I can probably do a couple things, but not much. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace these exterior greenhouse walls with regular walls. We are going to make this a much more private build, and I will also add that detail. Like I said, I'm pretty much only going for aesthetics right now, because except for small things with the floor plan, there's not a lot I can do, because I don't want to cut into this tree at all. And I actually I went to a restaurant in Tampa, Florida when I was a very small child called the Kapok tree, and it was built around this, well, kapok tree that was 400 years old, and I guess the tree died, so the restaurant went under. But it was a really nice restaurant. It was a special treat for my parents to take me there. Okay, so we've got that. We are going to put plenty of windows in it, but we're going to use 2-story windows to really fill the space with light. It is going to have lots of light. It's just not going to have it with greenhouse walls. But before we do that, let's paint it. And let's paint it a color that I feel like Rose would approve of. I'm thinking green. What do you think? Green? I'm thinking green. So after going through several different greens, I think I chose something that's light and airy that Rose would enjoy. It's calling to her, but at the same time, I think I need to delete this and replace it with the green greenhouse roof. Because again, let's keep it thematic. Okay, and after I added my green greenhouse roof, I also started using these windows. I had a hard time choosing between this one, but that just looks a little too, I don't know, stately, not what I'm wanting for it. Now on the inside, there are a couple things that I am going to do, such as replace these staircases with spirals, simply because they'll take less space than they currently are using. And I think I'll be able to reclaim a little area up here for living. I don't know. We're gonna try. Okay, so I was able to section off this with just this small amount of clipping. That's within my window of acceptability, and that will be my playable space. And then directly below it, I will also put what should be a load-bearing wall, because there is a sincere lack of load-bearing walls in here, and that's really bothersome. Up here we have a catwalk, and that we will furnish with flowers and things like that. It will be pretty much just for aesthetics. That's what we're going for, aesthetics. All right, now that I have a better sense of where I can build, about half of the house is the aesthetic greenhouse and the other half is for living. And yes, I do have the double windows on 3 sides, which means I don't have the ability to use these tiles, and you know what? I'm okay with that. Of course, we need to find a place to put a stairwell, and this is the most obvious for at least one of them, It makes use of these otherwise useless turrets that we've got. Now, I've never tried this before where I put a door right over a window, but you've seen me put a fence right across a driveway and it worked. So we're going to try this. I'm going to exit to the neighborhood and see if it fixes itself when I come back. Well, it doesn't look right, but that doesn't mean they can't use it. So we're going to hang on to this as an idea. In the meantime, we're going to do something that we know we can do, which is fix this garden, because you see, Jason, he has a desire to become a Plantsim, and so we're going to help him do that, but he needs a lot more than 8 plots in order for this dream to come true. So we will go ahead and just fill this lot up with all sorts of plots, right like this, right? Oh, hold it. Let's actually move the composter first. It doesn't need to be there. We can put it right there. Wonderful. And we're just going to fill up this lot right like this. And then we'll have to put in a couple more sprinklers. That one I feel good about. I feel really good about that decision. So an easy decision was that in the greenhouse, we are going to paper it with this. It's a jungle out there because it's calling my name. We're sticking with the easy decisions right now. So there should be at least one more staircase. So I put it in the atrium, and then the floor plan that I chose for the upstairs will be as such. That is a hallway. That's a bathroom. Oops. This will be Daisy's room. This will be Jason and Rose's room. And that's Jason and Rose's bathroom. So yes, everything has one of these glorious windows so that they can enjoy it. And it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's going to work. I hope. And I know I'm doing this in a different order than I do everything usually, but this one's actually really causing me grief, so we're kind of taking it slow. But yeah, we've got the upstairs planned with discrete places, hallway to there. Grown-ups have a room, a trek out onto the atrium on their own. So yeah. And what was previously Daisy's room is now going to become the kitchen, because that's a really good place. Like, you know, there's the stairwell that I used right there. So this will become the kitchen. And I replaced the windows with the country windows that come with the Seasons expansion pack. I'm actually going to replace these windows and this door as well, because I just really want to lean into that for at least this area of their home. I feel like it's homier. The front is kind of a presentation thing. The back is their home. That's kind of where I'm going with this thought process. And I was told, and it worked, if I had this graphical error here, I could just put a wall there. Well, maybe not. Let's see. How about on the inside? Yes. And just delete it, and it worked. So I don't always have to exit to the neighborhood. So that was kind of nifty. Thank you. Unidentified simmer. Thank you. Shout out. And I was wondering where to put a ground floor level bathroom. I'm going to put just 2 little toilet stalls with the university shower right in here, because they need to make sure you keep your Plantsims hydrated. Okay, so I did reclaim quite a bit of space. These might not be the final colors, but this is the atrium, both the first floor and the second floor. And I kind of have half a mind to make this a venue that they open to the public as a botanical atrium that they can come and enjoy. Very inexpensive, just something that they could do. So I did make this a door that can be locked, as well as one right here that can be locked. Everything else, if it's outdoors, people could enjoy it. They can enjoy the swimming pool, they can enjoy the garden, whatever trips their trigger. I'll probably put in a fishing pond because you know I do love a fishing pond. And in here we have general living room, skill room, dining room, kitchen, flight of stairs leading up to the private area, which actually lets out onto the balcony. This is Rose and Jason's room. Yeah, that sounds right. And the bathrooms, I do have to say, somebody pointed it out and I was absolutely astonished that I did it. But in my Tinker video, I actually oriented the bathroom in Wanda and Steven's master completely wrong, and they would not be able to use the bathtub. I can't believe I did it. I've been doing this for almost 20 years and I can't believe that I did that. So yeah, and that shout out is to SpyJan1. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm never afraid to admit that I was wrong. I can't believe I did it, honestly. Never have done it before. Wow. Okay, so on the outside, like I said, the biggest thing I could do, and I was just really stressed out over this, is just create something that was aesthetically pleasing. I only had a tiny bit of area that was clipping through, and you know what? I'm going to call it a win. I'm calling it a win. And I'm going to finish furnishing it, and I'll be back. Okay, time for the reveal. So obviously most of the differences I made were pretty much aesthetic, and you've seen most everything, but we do have a little fishing pond out here. We have a telescope. Didn't touch the patio area. Still have to decide whether or not they can exit or enter through this, so we will see when we do our play test. Over here we've got our ambrosial trees and our garden with the scarecrow in the garden. So then around back, like I said, the back of the house is their home, so it is much homier. We've got the patio area with the sun table and a barbecue. I did change the railing around this to make it much more countrified to fit the theme in the back of the house. And right here we do have a little watering station, aka a bathroom, for when our Plantsims are outside and need a quick shower. Seasons brought the ability to put things on the roof, so I put some chickens plus a weather vane on the roof because I could. Now as we enter the atrium, it's all about the plant life. There are plants everywhere. Pretty much every plant I could put in here, I did. We do have two little bathroom combos for guests or thirsty plants. So yes, all of the plant lives are belonging to us. Bamboo had to kind of go down here because it, like the tree, pokes up through the second floor. Now if you go up through the spiral staircase, you see the tree again. This flower, which I think probably stinks, and I think Sims react to it, that's why I put it right there. We have the iron trellises all the way around so that there is beauty, and it kind of serves as a window covering as well. We can enter the home through either the top or bottom level, so this is where we enter the home. And we have a hallway that takes us to Rose and Jason's room, as well as Daisy's room over here. I did have one tiny bit of clipping happening through the wall here, and that's why I put this armoire here, because it pretty much concealed it. Daisy's room is equipped for a toddler who will only be a child for some total of 4 days before she becomes an adult. So they inherit their spawner's personality and all of their spawner's skills that they had at the time they were spawned. The toddler watering station is right here, right like that. Jason and Rose's room is right here, very much on the nose. I don't think I could overdo green, but yeah, lots of green and white. Very clean. And I showed you the bathroom before. It's actually very long. I'm not really wild about it, but I didn't want to put too much in it. It's fine just as it is. So we exit through the balcony, and then we can go down the spiral staircase that is right here. Go down, and we come out into the kitchen. The kitchen is completely decked in all the country stuff. We have clutter on the counter, which is actually on a shelf. That way these counters are still usable. Even put the hot pads on front of the stove here. The kitchen has access to the patio for cookouts. And it also has access to the dining room, and there's a chess table here in the dining room. Through the dining room, we enter the main living room. This is an area, the door on the main floor, that's open to the atrium. Have the console TV, and it's tucked into a dresser, which I kind of think this is where they keep all their video games, right here. And then there is the console video game player, phone and boombox, and some nice bookcases. And at this end, a cute little conversation area. I wasn't able to put any more sun lamps in, but I have them all in the living area, not in the atrium. And through here we have just a little bit of a skill room, and you can look out and see the garden. Very mismatched skills, but this is what they are. And I did put a ticker here so they can open their home as a botanical garden, and I will be back as soon as I put the Greenmans in. So the Greenmans have just over 1,000 left, and then we will go ahead and get things started. Okay, and let's make sure that they can go through those doors that I want them to. Okay, Rose, why don't you put Daisy here, and Jason, you are going to be the one that experiments with the doors. First go here. All right. Now let's see. Go here. Hey, he could. Yes, it worked. All right. It's not perfect. It's not beautiful, but it functioned, and that's all that matters. All right, Jason, start a home-based business. Okay. Yes. Start charging customers. All right, great. And let's see what price we gave. Okay, 38 an hour. Awesome. Okay, great. We're going to go ahead and lock for household only. And lock this one for household only. And both of these for household only, but anyone can use this bathroom. That's fine. And Rose, why don't you put Daisy down? Time to bathe the toddler. I do love the little Daisy hat. Actually, it's part of her body, but And is she hydrated? Is she hydrated? Not enough, but okay, let's try that again. Let's bathe her again because she needs to be hydrated. Let's see, I don't even know what kind of skills Rose has. And Daisy should have identical skills. She does. Jason's watching some TV. His lifelong goal is to reach his golden anniversary, which is a family's, and hers is also to reach golden anniversary. Okay, great. And she's looking better, and I'm thinking that did not actually help you. Jason, why don't you grab that computer, please? Wonderful. People are enjoying the... Oh, you know what? Why don't we do this? Okay, Jason, why don't you greet her with a kiss, kiss, darling? And let's also ask her for a garden club membership. I don't know if this will work, but sure, why not? Oh, you know what? Let's actually grab free entry to Tiffany's Aruban. Okay, let's see how this works. Because they are going to inspect everything inside and outside. She's still thinking about signing in. And are you fully hydrated now? You are, but oh, let's turn on all lights. So you get some sunshine, please. Still looking at that? Gonna go ahead and admire the scarecrow or just the soil? Okay. That's fine. And you have much to improve. Oh my gosh. But we're going to go ahead and give you the membership. That's because, all right, see, she can walk right through that wall. So yes, that was a worthy experiment. And now Rose is going to go ahead and write in her diary. And I think this is going to work for their little life. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world. And that's all I have to say. VK out.